Leah Michelle, Resistance Chicks. It's February 6, 2017. Bill O'Reilly has interviewed the President of the United States.
They played it right before the Super Bowl, which I found incredibly interesting.
Okay.
So let's just get right to it.
Let them say it.
Judge Gorsuch, that rollout went very smoothly, I think.
Yes, it did. Yes, it did.
But the refugee deal, not so much.
I think it was very smooth. You had 109 people out of hundreds of thousands of travelers, and all we did was vet those people very, very carefully.
You wouldn't do anything differently if you had to do it over again?
Look, in life
some of
you
your
do
people
things.
didn't really know what the order was.
Well, that's not what General Kelly said. General Kelly, who's now Secretary Kelly, he said he totally knew, he was aware of it, and it was very smooth. It was 109 people.
Let's talk about Iran. Your assessment, do you think we're on a collision course, we being the United States, with that country?
I think it was the worst deal I've ever seen negotiated. I think it was a deal that should have never been negotiated. Absolutely, the deal that was made by the Obama administration. I think it's a shame that we've had a deal like that and that we had to sign a deal like that, and there was no reason to do it. And if you're going to do it, have a good deal. We gave them $1.7 billion in cash.
I want you to go over that a little bit again. We gave Iran $1.7 billion in cash on a stinking airplane in exchange for hostages, you guys. Yeah. This was bad. And you know what I think it is? It's because y'all know Obama's a Muslim. And he wants the Muslim take over America. And so this was one of the things he was like, I'm gonna hook this money up.
Gave them those hostages to start
This
with.
was like money that was supposed to be owed to them from like the 70s or something like that. Like, I'm just gonna randomly get the money on cash. You don't. Nobody does anything in cash anymore, by the way.
Hang on. Listen, I don't know if y'all know it, but America's broke. We're worse than broke. We don't even have $1 billion to
But
give
they know how they
anybody in
can just
cash.
keep printing off that paper stuff.
Which is unheard of.
No big deal.
And we put the money up, and we have really nothing to show for it.
Possibly you tear it up?
We'll see what happens. I mean, we're going to see
Well,
what
it's
happens.
possible.
I can say this. They have total disregard for our country. They are the #1 terrorist state.
It's more than like disregard. It's like lock and load. We want to blow you up.
Yeah.
Spending money all over the place and weapons, and can't do that.
Sanctions,
You can't do that.
that's how you're going to start with them.
Just started.
But you're moving a carrier, right?
I never talk about military moves. I always
Smart
criticize
man.
President Obama
I never
when they
talk
have an
about
announcement
military
that they're
moves.
going into Mosul or they're going to someplace and they give the name, the date, the time. I don't believe in that.
So you're not real bullish on Iran at this point?
No, I'm not bullish. I think they have total disrespect for our country. And I understand that deal, I would have lived with it if they said, okay, we're all together now. But it was just the opposite. It's like they're emboldened. They follow our planes, they circle our ships with their little boats, and they lost respect.
they circle our ships with their little boats.
Oh my gosh. I need a little boat here.
If we could have gotten together and sang Kumbaya with Iran. No, ain't gonna happen.
Because they can't believe anybody could be so stupid as to make a deal like that.
You talked to Putin last week. You had a busy week last week.
I'm pretty busy, man. Busy week and a half.
Do you respect Putin?
I do respect him.
Do you?
but-
Why?
Well, I respect a lot of people, but that doesn't mean I'm going to get along with him. He's a leader of his country. I say it's better to get along with Russia than not. And if Russia helps us in the fight against ISIS, which is a major fight, and Islamic terrorism all over the world,
Right.
major fight, that's a good thing. Will I get along with him? I have no idea. It's
He's
very
a
possible
killer,
I
though.
won't.
Putin's a killer.
A lot of killers. We got a lot of killers. What, you think our country's so innocent?
Love that line.
You think our country's so innocent?
I don't know of any government leaders that are killers anymore.
Well, take a look at-
Just because you're standing behind somebody and you say, pull the trigger,
Yeah, exactly. Doesn't disqualify you as actually being one. Press like
plausible
what we've done
deniability.
too. We've made a lot of mistakes. I've been against the war in Iraq from the
Yeah,
beginning.
mistakes are different
A
than...
lot of mistakes, okay, but a lot of people were killed. So, a lot of killers
I think
around.
1 million in
a
Iraq.
lot of killers
There
around.
was a
he said.
report, you talked to President Nieto, and you told him, this was the report, I want to know if this is true or not, that if his army couldn't handle the drug cartels, that U.S. Army soldiers would. Did you say that?
We have to do something about the cartels. I did talk to him about it. I want to help him with it. I think
This goes back to our little Mexican wall thing. They're run by cartels. The Mexican government's run by cartels, and all the drugs are running into America. And I saw an interview where one of their leaders said, if President Trump keeps pushing us, we're going to let the drugs go through. We're like helping them out. We're kind of, it's like that gang thing. We're like, you know
We'll
what?
lower the body count.
Lower the body count.
If you give us some stuff for our neighborhood.
I guarantee you the Mexican government knows where every cartel is, and they're working to pay
He's
it
a
off.
very good man. We have a very
Raise your hand. This is like World War II all over again, where everybody had somebody that's touched by heroin. And I don't know about the rest of this country, but here in Ohio, everybody knows somebody that has been touched by heroin, a death or something like that. It is insane.
Right.
good relationship, as you probably know. He seemed very willing to get help from us because he has got a problem.
Got a problem.
And it's a real problem for us. Don't forget, those cartels are operating in our country, and they're poisoning the youth of our country.
Exactly.
At this point, you consider Mexico a corrupt country because this stuff has been going on for decades.
I love the people. I really like this administration. I think he's a good man, and we get along very well. But they have problems controlling aspects of their country. There's no question about it. And I would say the drugs and the drug cartels, number one.
Have you figured out what kind of a tariff you're going to levy on Mexico to pay for the wall?
Well, right now it's very unfavorable. Right now we're losing our jobs to Mexico. You look at the plants, you look at these massive plants. Now, I have to tell you, I've turned it around already. I've turned it around. You see that? Ford has been phenomenal. They canceled the plant. They're building tremendous...
Yeah, you intimidated them.
No,
they're afraid
General
of you.
Motors is Mary Barra.
They're afraid of you. You know these
I don't know if they're afraid. No, they want to do what's right.
He's trying to give them
Why didn't
credit.
they do what was right in the past? They're afraid of
The
you.
wrong people spoke to them. But they're going to do what's right, and they're bringing jobs back to Michigan and Ohio and Pennsylvania and all the places that have lost the jobs. So that's already happening. I think you're going to see a tremendous
You wanted to do the right thing
job
anyway,
growth
Sonny.
in this country.
Let's turn to domestic policy. I just
Wanted to do the right thing.
As you know, they are now voting on whether they should become a sanctuary state. So California and
Covered that in our
the
other
USA
video.
are on a collision course. How do you see it?
Well, I think it's ridiculous. Sanctuary cities, as you know, I'm very much opposed to sanctuary cities. They breed crime. There's a lot of problems. If we have to, we'll defund. We give tremendous amounts of money to California.
So you're going to defund.
California, in many ways, is out of control, as you know. Obviously, the voters agree. Otherwise, they wouldn't have voted for me.
So defunding is your weapon of choice.
Well, it's a weapon. I don't want to defund the
But
state
you're willing
or
to
the
do
city. I don't want to defund anybody. I want to give them the money they need to properly operate as a city or a state. If they're going to have sanctuary cities, we may have to do that. Certainly, that would be a weapon.
Is there any validity to the criticism of you that you say things you can't back up factually? And as the president, if you say, for example, that there are 3 million illegal aliens who voted, and then you don't have the data to back it up, some people are going to say that's irresponsible for a president to say that. Is there any validity
Well,
to that?
many people have come out and said, right, you know.
I know, but you got to have data to
Let
back
me
that
just
up.
tell you. And it doesn't have to do with the vote, although that's the end result. It has to do with the registration. And when you look at the registration and you see dead people that have voted, when you see people that are registered in 2 states that voted in 2 states, when you see other things, when you see illegals, people that are not citizens and they're on the registration rolls. Look, Bill, we can be babies, but you take a look at the registration. You have illegals, you have dead people, you have this. It's really a bad situation. It's really bad. And
So you think you're going to be proven correct in that statement?
well, I think I already have. A lot of people have come out and said that I am.
Yeah, but the
correct.
data has to show that 3 million illegals voted.
Forget that. Forget all of that. Just take a look at the registration, and we're going to do it. And I'm going to set up a commission to be headed by Vice President Mike Pence, and we're going to look at it very, very carefully.
Well, that's good. Let's get to the bottom of this. 2017, can Americans expect a tax cut?
I think so, yes, and I think before the end of the year, I would like to say yes.
Okay. Can Americans in 2017 expect a new health care plan rolled out by the Trump administration this year?
Yeah, in the process, and maybe it'll take till sometime into next year, but we are certainly going to be in the process. Very complicated. Obamacare is a disaster. You have to remember, Obamacare doesn't work. So we are putting in a wonderful plan. It's statutorily takes a while to get. We're going to be putting it in fairly soon. I think that, yes, I would like to say by the end of the year, at least the rudiments, but we should have something within the year and the following year.
All right, last question. You get 4 hours of sleep or some crazy thing like that. When your head hits the pillow, do you ever say to yourself, I can't believe I'm here. I cannot believe that I am the President of the United States. When I wasn't a politician, I didn't start out this way. That wasn't my life goal. Does that ever come into your mind?
Well, I must tell you, the other day I walked into the main entrance of the White House, and I said to myself, this is sort of amazing. Or you walk into Air Force One, it's like a surreal experience in a certain way, but you have to get over it because there's so much work to be done, whether it's jobs or other nations that truly hate us. You have to get over it.
Football. How do you see this game?
Obama never got over it.
Well, I like Bob Kraft. I like Coach Belichick, and Tom Brady is my friend.
They're all taking gas because of that.
I know they're taking a lot of heat.
Right.
But you know what? They're also getting a lot of popularity out of it. I think they're going to do very well. Tom's a winner.
So you're rooting for the
coach
Patriots.
is a great coach. I think the other team is fantastic. I think it's a fantastic team. It turned out to be a good quarterback. But, you know, there's less pressure on the Patriots because they've been there. You know, once you've won, once you've done it, and they've done it, once you've done it, there's a lot less pressure. So we'll see what happens. But, you know, you have to stick up for your friends, right?
Sure. Now, Fox Sports is demanding I ask you to make a prediction.
Well, I hate to make predictions.
But you have to.
I hate to do it, but I'll say...
Because I won't leave unless
I'll
you
say,
do.
I don't even know what are the odds. I guess it's pretty even, right? Two great teams.
Yeah, but you got it.
Pretty even. So I'll say the Patriots will win.
By how many points?
By 8 points.
All right. So that's a good presidential prediction. We'll see. And you don't need to...
I think it was...
It was a touchdown, wasn't it?
But I don't think
because they went to overtime. It was 7 points, right?
Yeah, I think so.
No,
you're not going to give them all the fuel they want about thinking that Trump has this whole thing rigged in his back.
He rigged it. 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 He said 8 just to make it throw you off.
Oh my gosh. Is that the end of the interview?
Yes, it's it.
But that's okay.
You don't need data on that.
I need no data.
Okay. Mr. President, thanks very much for taking the time.
Okay, thank you.
He rigged it. He rigged it. He
Raise
rigged
your
it.
hand if about 10 or 15 years ago you guys watched Bill O'Reilly and thought, man, he's really edgy and he's on the front fringe and he's really telling it like it is. And then now you're just kind of so disgusted with this bought off traitor of the, you know, conservative leaning sane people. I mean,
Why didn't he say 7? Why did he say 8? That's weird.
I don't know.
I like the number 8, but that was just unbelievably uncanny.
Yeah, that's really funny.
He said the Patriots by 7 and they won by 8 in overtime. Or he said the Patriots by 8 and they won by 7 in overtime.
I'm just saying. All right, guys. So there's your President Trump's interview with Bill O'Reilly. I thought he did great. I mean,
yeah,
I thought Bill was firing at him.
I think he's one of the only politicians I've ever seen who's not a politician. He actually, like, you ask him a question and, like, answers it.
He actually answers the question.
So, like, you really want to know what he's thinking, he just kind of tells you. And I know people hate that, but, like, with Obama, like, he was all those videos with Obama, like, playing basketball, and he just got the shades on, he's hanging out with Beyonce and stuff like that.
Yeah, Obama
and Trump
was
like, I don't want to hang out with celebrities. I've
already
about
done that.
ISIS, I'm worried about all this, I'm worried about this, I get up every day, I got to get over it, okay, I'm here.
You guys,
that's it.
I know we tell you this a lot, but I have to remind you just one more time. Leah and I did not vote for Trump. We were not Trump supporters. So when you hear our synopsis, we still have not converted to being Trump supporters. We are supporting the American people that voted and put Trump in office.
And good policies.
And so we will give you our exact opinion. If he starts to say stuff that's stupid, we are going to just tell you, and I don't care if it offends you. All right? So we're just giving you, this was an excellent interview. He answered the questions correctly. He has hit the ground running. Obama never did that. All he wanted to do was play. He wanted to play president. Trump actually is being a president.
I was put in by the Muslim Brotherhood, and all I get to do is
Right,
just sit
okay.
here and
This
play
is
golf
Leanne Michelle
and go on vacation.
signing off for Resistance Chicks, where it is not a conspiracy theory. If it's the truth, don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment. We love hearing from you.
We love
Subscribe
it.
to
We
Mass Fate
love
3
hearing
and
from you guys.
Resistance Chicks, and
It's
find
fun.
us on Facebook. We want to interact with you guys there. So have a very blessed, what is it, Monday? Yeah, yesterday was the Super Bowl. Have a very blessed Monday evening, and we will come back to you tomorrow.
I was cold all alone. No place for